Welcome to Momentum Monday. I'm Dana Middleton, your host. Today, we are talking about opening your heart again. Because as people, as artists, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to feel like, you know, hurt, hurt. Like we go through hurt, we go through rejection, we go through disappointment. And sometimes that can lead to deep discouragement. And this was a topic that someone in our group wanted me to discuss, this idea of feeling so discouraged and how do we get out of that, right? What do we do with that emotion? When you feel discouraged, our heart becomes closed. And as an artist, that's a really not good place to be, right? As artists, we must have open hearts, not just for our creativity, but as we present ourselves in the world. Because someone who feels discouraged and kind of wears that as a, shield, walks around with it. It feels like a guard. And you don't even want to get that close to that person, right? Because there's something off-putting about that. But when somebody has an open heart, it's very attractive. People want to be part of that. So for you, just because you'll feel better, how do we open your heart again if it's been closed down in some ways? And I think all of our hearts have been closed down in some ways. And so that's okay. That's the tapping we're going to do today. And how do you make peace with your discouragement or disappointment? Like, make peace with it. It's okay. It's okay if you've experienced hurt. You're human. You're going to experience hurt. But it doesn't mean that that has to continue or be your lot in life, because it's happened once or many times, it becomes sometimes an expectation like, well, this won't work out, and that thinking just creates a momentum in a negative way that feels really bad. Right. So if you have experienced this, if you feel this sometimes, please stay with me today. We're going to do some tapping to help release those feelings and tap in this idea of opening your heart again. That sounds really dangerous, doesn't it? I mean, the idea like we close our hearts down for a reason, right? Because maybe somebody betrayed us. Maybe, this career that felt so right just hasn't worked out like you wanted. And that feels awful. I mean, it really does feel awful. And I would say most of us have experienced that. It's what we do after that separates us from the crowd. Because so many people, think about, I know when I work with actors who used to go into audition rooms all the time, you'd be with the same people and you'd meet and you'd be in a waiting room or wherever. And often I would hear about kind of that hive mind talk and thinking about how things aren't as good as they used to be and how all the things, right? How things aren't what they should be. And I always say, don't get into those conversations. Put on your earphones, stay out of that, because you want to keep your energy clean and just as happy as possible. Go Pollyanna. And I know people laugh at me about that sometimes, but it really is that. It's really kind of a more useful way to see the world, through rose-colored glasses. Hi, guys. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Camille. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. If you're discouraged, if you feel disappointed, it can be from all kinds of reasons. All right. One of the reasons could just be timing. It's not your time yet, and that's okay. Another reason is that you could be, you could know or come into your creative career with all this inspiration and knowing, but maybe you weren't quite aligned with allowing certain things to happen yet. Tapping can really help you work on that alignment. So when you're aligned energetically, things can flow in a much easier way. I feel like I walked through the desert for years, not aligned enough. And as my alignment changed, my work as a writer changed. I was published many times and things have happened, but that was about alignment, not about working harder. I was doing the same things. I was just more aligned. So that may be something to look at and to think about, and something you can do with tapping with me on these Mondays. And maybe your belief system isn't quite supporting what you want. What does your family think about being an artist or a creative entrepreneur or whatever it is you are? What's the wiring in there? What is it saying? So these are the things we get to get real about and clean up, so that when you say, I am aligned with my creative journey, then you're aligned and it feels right, and you get into that flow. Let's tap on this feeling of I'm disappointed, I'm discouraged, and that's left me feeling, like I just don't even know how to move forward. That's made me feel like I've had to close my heart. I really think the antidote to this is opening your heart again and finding a way, because it's so easy to hold a grudge or to just kind of get small again. But being small keeps you safe. Right? There's a really, when you think about it, discouragement, deep discouragement has a reason. There's a reason for it in some ways, because if you're deeply discouraged, you'll contract, you'll get smaller, you'll close your heart, and you won't go out there and be all that you can be. So that is something you need. We need, all of us, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I mean, I've recognized it for myself. There are places where we all can contract, but that stops us from being our authentic selves in the world, stops us from being seen. It stops us from everything. So today, if you dare to maybe try to think about opening your heart again, this is really going to be a good tap for you. So let's do some tapping. What do you say? So take a breath, everybody. Okay. Just maybe take a stretch, take a breath. Thank you guys so much for being here live and on the replay. I love seeing you all. And let's just do some tapping on the feeling first. Like, we're not going to jump to opening your heart if your heart feels closed, if you feel discouraged or disappointed, but we're just going to acknowledge the feelings. And you can do this for many rounds. We're just going to do it for a round or two, and then we're going to turn it around and see how this feels. So maybe at the beginning, take a rating from 1 to 10. How discouraged do you feel? If it's an 8, that's pretty discouraged. If it's a 5, it's not, whatever, but let's clean it up. And we clean it up by acknowledging and by tapping on these meridian points. When we tap on these points, we break up stuck energy so that we can, just kind of so we can be in a new place. When we have all that stuck energy, it really has an effect on us. So we're going to start on the karate chop point, 3 fingers right here on the side of the hand. If you haven't tapped yet, just come along with me. We're breaking up energy by speaking the ugly, ugly and tapping on these meridian points. So again, repeat after me. Even though I feel disappointed and discouraged, I have felt let down before. I'm willing just to acknowledge them, all these feelings. Even though I probably do have a closed heart in some ways. Because this has been hard for me. I am discouraged. But I would like to feel more open again. Just breathe, yawn. Oh, says we're moving energy. Even though I'm really sick of feeling discouraged, but I am not opening my heart again. I have been too hurt. And I'm not an idiot. And it's okay that I feel that way, but it's really not getting me anywhere. Okay, let's take our fingers, 2 fingers, okay, each hand. You can do both sides of the face, one side of the face, on the eyebrow point, inside of the eyebrow, and keep repeating after me. I'm so discouraged and disappointed. Outside the eye. I feel like things did not work out like I expected. Under the eye. And that's left me feeling bereft. Under the nose. Really sad, really let down. On the chin. In fact, I feel like I've closed my heart and gotten smaller. Under the collarbone. Like I just want to pick up my toys and go home. middle of the chest. And I was so sure about this path. Under the arm. So I'm confused and frustrated and don't know what to do. Top of the head. Until I've almost begun to wear my disappointment and discouragement like a badge of honor. Back to the eyebrow point. So you can keep doing that kind of round a lot more if you want to on your own, but let's just start turning it around just a little bit. But wearing that badge of honor really isn't working for me. Outside the eye. I think people sense my discouragement. They sense my closed heart. Under the eye. I sure sense it, and it doesn't make me very happy. Under the nose. But how am I supposed to open it again when things have not gone to plan? On the chin. I feel like when I had an open heart, I got kicked in the teeth. Under the collarbone. So it just doesn't seem very smart to have an open heart. Middle of the chest. So I get to acknowledge all of my hurt, all of my fear, all of my discouragement. Under the arm. Give it compassion. It's just trying to keep me safe. Top of the head. And contemplate the idea that I might not really need it anymore. Eyebrow point. What if it is safe to open my heart again? Side of the eye. To just experiment by letting go of this discouragement, letting go of this frustration. Under the eye. And going back to the me who, led with an open heart. Under the nose. And let it be safe this time. On the chin. Let my open heart really work for me now. Under the collarbone. Cultivate a belief that my open heart will be treated kindly now. Middle of the chest. That the world is friendlier than I thought. Under the arm. And that I'm ready for my open heart to meet friendly sources. And my open heart, resets me in a way that's really magical for me. Take a breath, everybody. I think that's so helpful for all of us. I feel was trying to really think that through, and be led. All my tapping is kind of led by, not me. Really try to listen to the right words for that. I hope it's helpful. I know that's a short tap, but you can tap all these elements on your own as many times as you want. just like tap out all your feelings of discouragement, tap out all the times where you felt like, things didn't work to plan and you were upset about it and hurt by it. Check in with your heart. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, in the comments, check in with your heart. Ask your heart, are you closed? Why are you closed? What if you were going to open? Let's open. And your heart may go, no, we're not opening. And ask why. I'm not opening my heart because, and I'm telling you, a memory will come up where you got hurt or betrayed and you need to tap on that. Oh yeah, I remember this happened. This person did this and this was really awful and all the stuff. And of course I'm disappointed. Of course I'm discouraged because that went so badly, and then as you open your heart, maybe even look back to places where your open heart worked for you in the past, where it really opened doors for you because you came in with such bright, open energy. That bright, open energy, y'all, that is the key. It is. And when you've been in the game, whatever that game is, for a while, it can be a real challenge to keep that energy up, especially if it has been a roller coaster. Oh, wow. Tears. Okay. Oh, thank you for saying that, Camille. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, I hope this is good stuff, good tears, because it's true. We close down and your heart has all the answers. So ask your heart. Ask your heart. This is your journey. You have all the answers. Trust me, the 8-year-old has all the answers, and that 8-year-old lives in you. So ask, I want to open my heart. I'm going to open my heart again. What happens? Does your heart feel open or does it go, oh, no? Ask your heart, and the answers are there. I am so glad you're here today. Please, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments as always. Have a wonderful week. Yeah, and let's see how it goes. Maybe do some experimenting around opening your heart. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.